So hand gestures on video have been a very hot topic
Yes.
recently. And one of the questions from our audience, which I'm going to throw over to you, Abby, is how would you recommend using open palms, right, which is what we shared earlier in some of our other posts,
Yeah.
when presenting without looking, right, like some kind of criminal engaging in
Yeah.
criminal arrest?
Yeah. I'm really glad this question was asked, because when we talk about open palm gestures and making sure that the palms are visible rather than the backs of the hands, I think people get a little bit confused of thinking, how do I make sure that my palms are visible every time I talk or every meeting, making sure my hands are up. And that can look quite silly, but that's not what we mean by open palm gestures. We don't mean that make sure that your palms are visible in every conversation we have. We're talking more about adjusting your natural behaviors. So if you talk and you're talking about a point and you're, really using your hands to express, it's just a case of being cautious of the positioning of your hands. So if you are demonstrating and talking like that, it's just a case of slightly adjusting the positions of your hands so that the open palms are visible. And if you're talking like that, it's not that much more difficult to slightly adjust the behavior. So it's not increasing this expression of a behavior to a comical degree, or making sure that your hands are visible constantly and up like that for the whole conversation. It's more about adjusting your behaviors, because we naturally are very expressive with our hands. It's not something we have to often think about too much. Actually, we have to often think about not using our hands, because it is very natural, especially in certain cultures, it's more natural than others. It's just that being aware of what you are doing with your hands and adjusting the position so it's open palm rather than closed palm.
Yes, absolutely. And something that is worth mentioning, right? There's a lot of experimentation we can do with hand gestures. And
Yes.
again, it doesn't just have to be like one expression of open palm gestures. You can really develop pretty diverse vocabulary, right? So you can use a variety of hand gestures depending on what it is you're trying to communicate, right? And as you mentioned, it's okay to not, like, you don't always, your hands don't always need to be visible.